Welcome back to Witness Richness. It's your boy JCP back with another video. And this week I'm going to talk about the 4 basic real estate strategies that we most know about. Now listen, there are a plethora of ways to get into real estate and a plethora of ways to invest in real estate. But these right here are some of the 4 basic ways. I'm going to talk about each one of these 4 basic ways, give you the concept behind each one, and give you some ideas or some strategies how you can use either cash, credit, or know-how to get into each one. Let's get right into it. Let's start off with the buy and hold method. The buy and hold method is the idea of buying a property and holding it long-term or short-term for the cash flow. The cash flow is all of the income minus all of the expenses is the profit left over, which is your cash flow. Okay, now understand that when you do the buy and hold method, it's a dual approach to building long-term wealth, because every month those rents that you collect pay down that mortgage. That is building equity within that mortgage, and every single month that you collect that cash flow, that's profit in your pocket. So it's a dual approach to building long-term wealth. And never mind the tax benefits and all that. I have another video talking about the benefits of owning a real estate portfolio. Go back and watch that video when I talk about all the benefits. But right now, we're talking about just the simple method of buy and hold for the cash flow or build equity. All right. Now, to get into the buy and hold method, again, you can use cash, credit, or know-how. Cash. If you have the cash to buy the property and build that long-term wealth and collect that cash flow, go ahead and put the cash down. But the beautiful thing about real estate is leverage. So you wouldn't put, $100,000 down to buy a $100,000 property. You could put $20,000 down to buy 5 $100,000 properties. You understand that? It's leverage. Now, if you have the credit, okay, you can go to a bank and you can actually leverage your credit to acquire an income-producing asset. Some banks and some opportunities, you may have 0% down with other programs. Most of the time, the lowest you're going to find is FHA, which is the Federal Housing Administration, utilizing a 3.5% down payment. And I talk about that as well in my last video, using FHA loans, FHA financing to get into properties. So that would be the idea behind using credit to get into the properties. You can actually put a low down payment or a no down payment depending on the situation. There's a lot of opportunities out there and make money in real estate with no money down. You just have to be able to find the know-how. Okay, now again, having cash and having credit are 2 easy ways to leverage yourself into deals. But if you don't have the cash and you don't have the credit, then it's about having the know-how. Okay, there are several different strategies and methods you can use to acquire income-producing assets with just having the know-how. Okay, it's either one, you can pull up a group of people and use their money to buy a property. At that point, it may be called some type of a syndication, right? Where you promise people an interest rate or some type of equity into that deal in order to acquire that income-producing asset. Or maybe you talk to the seller and you say, I want to buy your property. I don't have the money right now. Can we structure some type of seller finance deal? Or you may want to get some lawyers involved, and you can do what's called a wraparound mortgage, which is the idea of pretty much taking over somebody's mortgage payment. Now again, that's the know-how. Okay, there's a plethora of different ways to get into real estate. That is just the 3 basic ways that I know, using your cash, credit, or the know-how to get into the buy and hold. Next, let's talk about the fix and flip. Now, we've seen all the TV shows, HGTV shows, when we talk about the concept of buying a property for a discounted price, deeply discounted, okay? And the reason why you're buying a property deeply discounted is because that property may need some work, all right? So you buy the property that needs work, you do the work, and you sell it for more, right? You sell it for a profit. That is the whole concept behind the fix and flip. Now, there's a very easy method to know how to get into a fix and flip, okay? And the method is understanding what the after repair value is. So whenever I look at a property that's a potential fix and flip, the first thing I want to know is, what is my ARV? What is my after repair value? You can find that in a couple of different ways. One, you can call real estate agents in the area and find out. Ask them, this property right here, what do you think it'll be worth if it's all fixed up? You can get a guesstimate, all right? You can go on Zillow and you can find out the properties that are in that area on that block and what they're worth on Zillow. And that can give you a rough idea, okay? Or you can look up the city records and you can find out what properties that have similar square footage, similar yard spaces, or similar layouts in that vicinity of that property and find out what they last sold for. I would say the last 3 to 6 months. And you can kind of adjust that to find out your ARV on that particular deal. So once you have the ARV, you now want to figure out what is the repair cost? Again, a couple different ways you can do that. There's actually a multiplier in certain markets you can use. What multiplier I mean, like for example, let's say I know in this market it's going to cost me $10 per square foot to estimate $10 per square foot to fix this property. Okay, so I'd multiply my $10 per square foot times the square footage of that property, and that'll be my guesstimate or my estimate of how much it's going to cost to flip that property. Now, that is one way to do it. It may not be the best way for all markets. The next way to do it, I would say, listen, you can call a few contractors. Have some contractors come in and give you a price on, labor only. Right? Write it out. How much it's going to cost me to do this, that. Kind of write out a scope of work, and the contractor will give you a price. So now you have a labor cost. And as far as material cost goes, you see my video. Listen, go to Home Depot, walk around, look at prices of cabinets, look at prices of flooring. It's going to take a little bit of math to figure out the square footage of the house times the square footage of the price of the flooring, or the tile, or the drywall, whatever it may be. You can actually go to Home Depot with knowing the specs of your home and pretty much figure out, with a little bit of multiplication, how much material you're going to need, how much material is going to cost you, add it with your labor costs, and that would be your actual repair costs. So now you have the after repair value, right? You know what that is. Let's say it's going to be, $100,000, right? 100K is going to be the after repair value. I didn't plan on writing on the board on this video, but just to make things clear. After repair value is going to be $100,000. You have walked in with a contractor, and you know it's going to be about $20,000 total for rehab budget, right? For the rehabs, right? Okay. Now, the rule of metrics usually for a fix and flip is you want to be able to buy the property and fix the property at 70% of the ARV, right? So 70% of the ARV. Again, I didn't plan on writing on this video, so this is kind of just off the top of the dome right now, but 70% of the ARV. Okay, so if you're buying the property at 100K and you need a rehab budget of $20,000, you now know that you can't be no more in this deal than $70,000, because 70% of $100,000 is 70K, right? $70,000. So we already have our repair costs of $20,000. So you need $20,000 over here, okay? Now, that means that I can't pay a dollar more than this property, more than $50,000. Why? Because $50,000 for the acquisition price of that property plus $20,000 for the rehab cost equals $70,000. That puts me at a $50,000 purchase price. So what am I going to offer that person? Right? Purchase price. Purchase price here. What am I going to offer the seller? I'm not going to offer them $50,000 right off the bat. I'm going to lowball them. I'm going to offer them 35. I'm going to offer them 40. Offer them 45. And work our way up. And they're basically knowing that I want to buy this property for no more than $50,000. All right? So that is the idea of the fix and flip. Now, ways to get into fix and flip. Once again, 3 different ways. If you have the cash to buy the property, go ahead and buy the property cash. Or you can actually leverage your credit or leverage the deal itself. If you watch my other video on hard money loans, you can leverage that great deal to get into the fix and flip, which means you go to a hard money lender. If you go to a hard money lender, all they're going to want to see in most cases is that you have an LLC. You put down 10% of the purchase price, which is going to be about $7,000 plus the points and whatever costs associated with that may be. Hope I'm not speaking too fast. The reason that I'm speaking a little bit fast is because I already have a video on this, and right now I'm kind of just going through the concepts behind these simple strategies here. So you can actually buy the cash if you have the cash. You can leverage the credit or leverage the deal in this case if you use hard money loan, which I have a video on that. Or if you have the know-how, maybe you approach the seller, say, hey, listen, let me buy the property off you for, this amount of money. We write up on a contract, I'll pay you in 6 months, and, right now I'll put no money down. That's called a seller finance deal. You can actually seller finance a fix and flip as well. So with that being said, you can use cash if you have it, credit if you can leverage it, and then the know-how is being able to approach that seller and make a deal. Or maybe you grab a group of friends who have $10,000 a piece and you offer them a little interest or a little equity into that deal. That is the idea behind the fix and flip. So let's get into wholesaling, number 3. That is another way to get into real estate as an investor without using cash, credit, but you may need just the know-how. Now, the idea behind wholesaling is that you are flipping the deal or you're flipping a contract to an investor who has interest in that property, who's looking to make a profit. So let's say that this property right here, I just explained to you that if you want to fix and flip this property, you don't want to pay no more than $50,000 on a purchase for that property. Now, if you're a wholesaler, you might get the same deal under contract for $40,000. Okay, you get that property under contract for $40,000. And as a wholesaler, you already understand what an investor is looking for. So you can actually have a buyer's list, right? An investor's list, and people you know who are looking to flip properties and make money. So if you get a contract under deal at $40,000, you know an investor would not want to pay any more than $50,000 or $45,000 for that property. You can then take the contract with that seller, offer them a price of $40,000. If they accept it, you take that contract and you sell it to an investor for 50 or 45 or for whatever price you can negotiate with that investor. And the difference between the price with the seller and the price with the investor would be 10,000K in this example, okay? And that would be 10,000K in your pocket as a wholesaler. Okay? That is the idea behind wholesaling. You get a property under contract, you sell that contract to an investor or somebody else. That's pretty much it. So in that situation, you'd want to build a buyer's list and be able to find leads on a regular basis that we can keep the money coming in. At some point, though, you're going to graduate from wholesaling, you got to get into flipping. Right. We're going to get into real estate development, or being a real estate developer. Real estate developer is really like the cream of the crop. This is the idea where you're driving down the street and like, you know what? Oh, right there, that would be nice to have a 8-unit building right there in the corner. I'm going to build 8. I'm going to buy that block. I'm gonna go with the city, I'm gonna get the permits in place, I'm gonna build an 8-unit building over there. Driving down the street and you see an acre of land somewhere, you're like, oh man, that would be a beautiful, industrial facility there. I can build a bunch of thousands of square foot units, and I can rent them all out to big businesses or corporations. Or, I can build a shopping center here or shopping mall here, or I can take this land, subdivide it, and sell each part individually for a profit. Or, I could take this lane right here and make it into a trailer park. It's right next to a highway, next to a major park, so this would be a nice theme here. So the real estate developer is really like the cream of the crop when it comes to real estate. I mean, you may need cash, credit, and know-how, all three of those to get into real estate development. Not a lot of people start off with real estate development, but listen, at the end of the day, when it comes to all these tools and all these strategies, it's all about your personal resources, your personal cash, your personal credit, how much you know, or who you know. If you know somebody who has deep pockets and you have an idea that's involves real estate development, you can bring that deal to somebody who has the resources to get that deal done. You make money off that as well, right? Just being a part of that transaction there. So real estate developer is cream of the crop. Again, it's all about who you know or what you know or how much cash, how much credit you have in this one. But again, it's all about being creative and using that train of thought to create opportunities for yourself and others. So that pretty much wraps up, the 4 major ways to get into real estate. Now, again, this is a quick video. There are a plethora of ways to get into real estate as an investor, but we went over the buy and hold, the fix and flip, the wholesale, and briefly on real estate development. I myself use the buy and hold and the fix and flip. That's what I'm doing right now to alleviate myself from, the rat race, as I'd call it. Now, really quickly, on my channel, again, understand that this channel is more about personal development and personal growth than real estate. But the thing is, it's hard to stop talking and relating to people about, the hierarchy of life and getting into, law of attraction and personal development and self-actualization when, all we can see is, our next meal, right? It's like all of us right now, including myself, 40, 60, 80 hours a week worried about or thinking about money or working jobs or personal finance. So it's like, I really want to get to the point where, the money's coming in automatically and I no longer have to spend time or give any of my cognitive power or cognitive thought to money and finances, right? Most people watching this channel are in that rat race and, we're trying to secure the bag for our families and, we're on that path to making money. But when the money is all set and the money is coming in, what is life going to be about then? That's really where our channel is going to be going. But right now, it's real estate because I understand where you're at, because I understand where I was at. And where I was at was a corporate job, 9 to 5, 60, 80 hours a week, plus traffic, didn't control my time, didn't control any aspect of my life when I had that job. So now I control my life more, but I'm still chasing that bag. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. But listen, the whole point of this channel is that we can grow together. So we're gonna start off with the real estate. I hope you're taking these notes in. I hope you're taking action. I hope you're learning more. I hope you're training more. You know, right now this is just kind of brushing the surface on real estate, but definitely want to dive more into each one of these topics. What you really want to do is find out what your resources are, where your credit is at, how much money you have, or how much you know. Use those resources to pick one of these strategies and drill it in and become successful. Because listen, you can become a millionaire or very successful in any one of these strategies if you follow it, learn it, apply it, and take action. So that wraps up this week's video. Just going over the basic real estate strategies and how you can use cash, credit, or the know-how to get into each one. Listen, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and smash that button right here. Subscribe, support your boy. I got videos coming out every single week, new content. And listen, as always, my king, and as always, my queen, I invite you, let's grow together. I'll see you in next week's video.